No, that's not what I want. Live chat. Okay. No. Well, we're just gonna have to go with that. Have it all right. One of these days, I'll get it 100% right. Okay. There is Kermode Bear Actual, a channel supporter. First in the chat, 555, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I was going to do that thing where you just kind of set it up and let it wait. Hey, Sheepdog Tanker. Hey, Silver Mane Bees. Shabbat Shalom. I was going to let it sit there for a little while and let people show up. And I just, no. Hard Hearth Homestead. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the live stream, Hard Hearth Homestead. Have you been to one of my live streams before? Because I don't recognize your channel name. It's a good channel name. BT Dubs. Ready for the snow apocalypse? They be cloud seeding hard here. Well, let me see if I can you can see the curtain. Can you see? Not really. I guess I could move the phone over there. I'm obviously not on Shofar Mountain, right? I'm obviously not on Shofar Mountain, but I'm fine. And it's all part of the plan. Hey, Aid, cheers. I still am in the snow band. I'm just in a different location. And I have already heard out that window three emergency call-outs, like first responder call-outs. One of them was definitely an ambulance and a fire truck, and then I saw it later at a nearby store. So I don't know what happened there. There is not significant snow where I am right now, but there is really whipping wind, and it's cold. It's cold. It's probably close to zero now. Ready for the pocky lips. I love how y'all are spelling that. So in my preps, this is just tea, y'all. In my preps to come where I am, I brought some tea that I like. Got some jasmine tea, and I also have some these guys, celestial seasonings, like go to sleep tea. And I failed to bring the little tea, I guess you'd call it a caddy, but with loose tea, it takes the leaves out and leaves only the tea, and I forgot to bring one, so I just threw a little bit of jasmine tea in this cup, but now I've got the leaves floating around, and I probably should take them out, but the water's so stinking hot. And I know PJ's proud of me because I am traveling on a weekend when there is this weather issue. I brought my bob and I made sure to pack in it what I thought I might need. And I do have cold weather clothes with me should I need them. And something else I'm going to show you. Jacqueline Hembry, shalom. Let me be right back. Talk amongst yourselves for just a nanosecond. Okay, I brought with me one of these. Now, obviously, the hay string didn't come with this little doodad, but this is a yak track. It's just a bit of rubber with some wire wrapped around it, and it fits over the bottom, the sole of your shoe, and it will keep you from falling on icy surfaces because there is supposed to be significant ice with this storm. And as I'm older, I do not want to fall and break a hip. And these are cheap. They're like $20 a pair. And I've experimented. You can use just one. You don't even have to have them on both shoes, and you will not slip. So I brought those with me. That's one of my Snowmageddon preps. Very important to me. I would like to hear what Snowmageddon preps you guys have done, or your ideas about them. If you're, living in sunny Hawaii, what do you think you would prep for this Snowmageddon? They're great. We use them at the fire department. No higher praise than that, people. I'm going to have to do it yourself a pair of those. Hard Hearth Homestead. I hoped somebody would say that because I think somebody could. I think you could figure out a way to make strapping leather. I don't know, maybe just wire with more wire wrapped around it. But man, it makes a difference. I just avoid all ice altogether. I would like to, but I live in an area where that's not always possible. Heard of them? They're great items. Kermo Bear, love those. I got snowshoes and a board too, both great preps. Had to use them when we last got 36 inches. Yeah, I don't have the snowshoes. Hey, Suze! Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good morning. It's evening. Blessings from Grace Acres. I will take that, Grace Acres, and say blessings to you too. Oh, you guys have some good comments already. I converted all my loose change into canned vegetables the other day. 237 cans. Wow, that is a really good food storage. Loose change adds up. All right, so now we are the wind. Only thing I had to do was my normal Arev stuff, so I have more gas and beef jerky. Haha. Beef jerky would be a perfect thing to have right now because unless it was frozen solid, it's food that's going to be fine. Okay, let's see. Double wire shoddy, Tobias Stockwell says. Could use springs and paracord if you're handy, right? Paracord's nice and thick and lasting, it's got some oomph to it. That's a good idea. I can't avoid it. It's supposed to ice for 2 days in South Carolina. I have livestock to check on. Exactly my point. I don't always have the option. I think so too, Kermode. May give it a try, says Silvermane Biz. Also a channel supporter and a lovely, lovely lady. Would love to see the results. And I think on the community page, you guys can post pictures, and I'd love to see if someone made a pair. Winter is coming. Okie Storm Chaser. I almost put for the title of the live stream a picture from the movie, the show. Throne. Trying to think. Not King of Thrones. Something. Winter is coming. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can get back home on Sunday. Couldn't afford an earlier flight from Nevada. Yeah, I believe that. Mama Buckeye 88, Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for supporting the channel. Rob 4341, hello. I'm also in Northwest Arkansas. Not going to comment on that, just that you cut firewood. That's awesome. Game of Thrones, that's the one. Never actually watched the show. We watched the show. Definitely for adults. Definitely like 250 characters in the show, and half of them are dead by the end of the first couple of episodes. That was one of the shocking things about it, and it also had a lot of risque stuff in it, which I thought was extra. They really didn't need it. Shalom, brother. Jethro November. I love your posture. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Jethro. So, what else? What else Snowmageddon Preps have you done? Because I know somebody said they did wood, and I know PJ did wood. And another thing that is, a big issue when something like a snowmageddon comes up is water. Because if you have pipes and you're in a trailer, lots of extra insulation and heat tape and everything needed to keep the pipes underneath from freezing. Water for livestock is an issue, especially if you're off grid, because we don't always have a electric thing to plug in to keep, like a crock pot warm for chickens to drink from. So the pre-planning was have the water inside where the wood stove is so it doesn't freeze, and then have to carry it out to livestock. And so that required waiting for when the pipes and pumps and everything weren't frozen to fill up the water containers, and then turn off pumps and things like that that may be exposed to the outside so they don't crack and break when it's extremely cold. Now, let me see your comments. Nope, I don't want to do any of those things. I just want to see. Okay, there we go. We have a kerosene heater, hopefully 12 to 13 gallons will see us through till the power comes back on. And I've heard that kerosene heaters are very effective. They're very warm. So I'm hoping that for you also. Okay, Aid wielding his wrench. All right, good job, Aid. Thank you, George 1717. Shabbat shalom. Sorry, a bit late, but great to see you. Well, thank you, George. Great to see you too. I feel like I look kind of tired and washed out, but it's partially the lighting in here. And I did get to have a nice warm shower, which is not always something I can do on the mountain. So I'm clean at least. We have kerosene too as a backup, and there's old Trapper waving. Got the community to park all in our largest driveway and set times we will meet to shovel together. That's a smart prep thing. I know PJ does intend to kind of check everyone's access after all the snow to see if anyone needs help getting out. Wes, welcome. I adopted some kittens for a heat source and soup stock. Laugh out loud. The kittens would probably love to make a nest on your frozen body after it's all over. Welcome to the live stream. The Quiet American. I'm late, but I'm going to start from the beginning. So you have to scroll up to check all the comments, right? Hey, Suze. I remembered to make sure the plastic caps are on the propane bottles. Won't be able to swap them out if the threads are covered in ice. Very smart. Hey, Lone Star Living. Howdy, y'all. Shalom. Long time no see, brother. Welcome. We're talking about our Snowmageddon Preps. Hard Hearth Homestead, hauled wood, insulated pipes in our attic, smart. You don't want water leaking on top of your ceilings. Prep the animals, layered chicken poop and straw in coop and put water on top. Ammonia breakdown in the closed coop should help. Yes, we also put straw down where our birds are. The sheep are, not the sheep, the goats already had some hay and where they will be sheltering. It's a place that I did in a video where I put a plastic, not sheet, but like 4x8 piece of plastic, and I screwed it into place so it won't move, and it's kind of banked in such a way that even if the snow will land in their pen, but the way it's banked, it should slide off and they can get in behind it. There's straw in there for the goats, and then the sheep that are on the mountain will be near a big bale of hay so they can eat and lay in that, and the birds are in their coop, and there's lots of straw down for all of them. And yes, composting stuff in the bottom of a coop will help with keeping them warm. I don't think PJ probably shut the one little door, but they should be okay in their coop. I'm more worried about the birds that aren't in a coop. They're not out exposed, but they don't have a lot of walls around them. So I put straw where their feet would be, and I'm hoping that might be good enough for them. Okay, filled the tub with water. More wood close to the house and a big pot of water on the wood stove. I love that. Filled our camp water jugs too, praying everyone stays warm. Thank you for your prayers. Rock Lick Ranch, welcome to the live. We have plenty of wood, well water, a generator in case the power goes out. Good idea. Lanterns and plenty of kerosene. Great idea. We're ready as can be. Supposed to get 12 inches Saturday night through Monday. Solar generators, solar panels will work if it snows, but you have to get the snow off of them. As long as the sun is shining, they will generate power. And so a solar generator is a good backup in a case like this too, and it would be inside. But once the moisture is finished, you can take it back outside, set it up in the snow and or on top. And as long as it's sunny, it will still get charged up. Hopefully you have them charged up before now and you just use them as one of your power sources in the house. Always dump food scraps for the wild animals. Well, that's thoughtful. Hey, Jade, we have a propane buddy heater and a kerosene heater. Great idea. Just remember when you're using those kind of heaters in a well-insulated house, you need to have some kind of ventilation. You don't want to use a kerosene heater inside without any ventilation at all. I don't think that's recommended, but you guys who have them can kind of clear that up. Buddy heaters usually not a big deal because they don't use a lot of propane. And when we used them, we didn't worry at all because we were in a very not insulated trailer, so there was plenty of ventilation in there. Okay, Storm Chaser didn't do much extra to prep, had to get a few groceries. Stores in OKC were stupid busy yesterday with panicky people. Made a big batch of shepherd's pie, sounds great, and cleared out a carport to park under it. Excellent. And Okie Storm Chaser brings up a really good point there, because I was out 2 days. So Wednesday, I was out, not related to Snowmageddon, visiting with some other believers, and we just happened to want to stop at a store along the way to get a few little things, some flour and like maybe some salt and some dog food. The local stores were insane. They were. The parking lot of this particular place was over full. People driving around the parking lot. I'm making a little circle thing with my finger here, driving around and around, waiting for a space to be open. And then in the area around the parking lot, which is normally like grass or landscaping, people were parking up there, like next to the landscaped rocks and cute little pine trees. There were cars parked where they normally aren't. And the pharmacy line got to about 15 people, 15 cars long, waiting to go through to get prescriptions. So I dropped off the person who needed to get the groceries, and then I parked the car after circling around several times, very slowly, because I've been in Northern Virginia malls on a weekend, and if you're not patient and willing to stalk somebody for a space, you're gonna blow a gasket. So when I finally pulled in, a man went walking by with a car out of the store and gave me this look, and I was looking at him like, okay. By the time I got out of my car, he was coming back to return his cart, and he goes, "Have you been in there yet?" And I said, "No, but I'm going in there to check on my friend." And he said, "It's crazy." Like, and he looked shell-shocked. He looked like he had been through some sort of war zone. I said, "Would you like me to return that cart for you?" And he said, "Would you please?" Once I got in there, it was like being in, say India or some other country that is highly populated. The lines down the aisles for checking out, 10, 15 people deep. You can tell the introverts, because they were all like just pushing their carts and trying to avoid touching anybody. It was ridiculous. And I have no idea what it would have been like earlier today because we were already prepped up, so we didn't need to go or stop anywhere. Anyway, let me keep going with these comments. You guys are making some excellent points here. We have a generator too. We're probably going to have to give my buddy setup to my son because he was not remotely prepared, even though I've told him before. It's a very big lesson to those that you tell to prep and don't. Situations like this sometimes open their eyes. Fill tubs with water for flushing and animal water works. Great idea. In our particular cottage, the piping out from the tub is a short distance from the wall, and so that gets insulated because cold air will come up the pipe and then it's, making the room colder. So that gets wrapped. And also your tub, depending on how your piping is, will have cold air come up out your tub. At least ours does. So we put the plug in the tub so we don't get cold air coming up out of there. Everyone has been running around down here. I topped off a couple of gas cans, refilled one of my mini 20-pound propane tanks. The others are full, and chopped some kindling, but that's kind of common stuff. But it still needs doing, right? There's Patty Sanchez. Shabbat Shalom, sis. By the way, last time I saw you, I really liked your new hairdo. And thank you for supporting the channel. Whole corns makes chickens unfreezable. I've heard that corn for chickens also lots of calories. Digests hot or something like that, someone told me. Caramel actual. Only prepper fail was not picking up more salt before it was gone. Still have plenty, but always try to get more each year. And it's cheap. Salt's cheap. Stacked a rick of wood in the house, filled the bathtub with water, serviced big generator, bought milk and bread. Sounds perfect. That's exactly what a lot of people did, Wes. Salt for dicing? We don't do that out here. I just stay home until it gets above freezing. I failed to realize we ran out of soy sauce. We love homemade Chinese food. Epic fail. Epic fail. Minus points for not having soy sauce in the house. Tisk, tisk. All right. Once I'm living, I have to work. I work from home and the wife is a stay-at-home mom. Some kerosene heaters are better than others. And there's Paula Joe Davis. Shalom, SK. Shalom, Paula Joe. Got to use the white kerosene for clean burning. Make sure to fill outside, of course. Main goal this week was to avoid the normies. Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in the I'm telling you, I feel like the people in that store were about, I wouldn't say 10 minutes, but I would say if lightning and thunder started, or if suddenly the store had run out of milk, there could have been fistfights. They just looked very, very stressed. Neil Hermites, hey girl, welcome to the live stream. Made the mistake of going to the store yesterday. It was insane. That's why I don't go to the store. And there's Saucin Shalom. SK. Grandma Ginger's Farm. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Shabbat Shalom. I will spend this Shabbat clean in a place where I can just turn up the thermostat to stay warm. It's like a mini vacay for me. Right. You do no see me. Keep curtains closed. I have the curtains closed because I know I would be backlit if they were open, but I'd peek out there because I'm situated in such a way that if an ambulance or a fire truck gets called out, I can hear it from here. And then I can watch it go out onto some roads, and I can't really track it after that, but I've already seen it go out 3 times, and there's not a snow accumulation right now, right here. It's just really windy and very cold. Oh, and there's one other thing, and I'll get to it a little bit later in the live, but there's something unique about the situation I'm in right here that I've never had happen, and I think it's a perfect setting for a story or a novel, but I don't want to address that right now. We're heading to Wally World early in the morning just to make sure there's nothing we might crave, because you can't have it, you want it more. I am fighting chocolate cravings right now. I am fighting them very, very hard. I'm having a tooth issue, so I don't want to exacerbate that. I worked about 24 hours total on prepping for this storm. My carrots, I didn't mulch enough, I feel, but oh well. I guess straw and leaves will overwinter carrots in Michigan. Well, good luck with that. I'm sure it's going to be pretty cold up there. I give tuna to the chickens for the calories. I love that idea. I got the oh, what is it called? It's the bag of bugs. I got that for the chickens, but since I'm not there, I don't know if PJ will end up giving that to them. But I love that idea. Just anything to give them extra calories to keep themselves warm. And hopefully they will not flock together, but like keep each other warm, like snuggled to each other. Whole corn makes chicken crops grind harder to generate more heat. There you go. There's the technical aspect of the whole corn thing. We use fish food pellets for extra protein. I proved my love to my mom today. Aw. Excuse me, I'm going to burp again. It's all the talking and drinking. I went to Walmart on payday on the eve of a snowstorm to pick up her new glasses. She can never doubt my love. Aw, that was a very kind thing to do. I always have a good stock of soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce in. Yes, Worcestershire, one of my favorite seasonings also. I find it does a lot for beef and venison. Yeah, I really don't. I even put it in my tartar sauce for fish. I find it a very good seasoning as well. And Thai fish oil. All right. Way to go honoring thy mother. Ooh, I love that. That's a good point. I'm sure it's been said, but check on your elderly neighbors, please. Thank you, my friends. Yes, some of us in here are elderly neighbors right now, but also have elderly neighbors who may need a little check-in on. There we go. We will hit minus 25 tonight. Oh my gosh, bless your heart. Mealworms and black soldier flies for our chickens as a treat. Yep. I see the comment who wrote that. Patty Sanchez at Walmart delivered on Tuesday. Really just like crazy people shopping. And that's another modern amenity that there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of. Door dashing or grocery delivery. If you don't have time or you're a little worried about, during the snowstorm actually driving anywhere. Now, I don't know if those services will still be available in the area, but there's nothing wrong with staying away from masses of people, especially because in our area there was stomach flu and influenza going around. Can't stay, but hugs and prayers for all in need, and may Yahweh bless. Thank you. Same to you, sweet lady. Shabbat shalom. I'm just getting home. Bear Engine, shalom and howdy, y'all. Sorry I'm late. No problem. Welcome to the live. Guess I'm the elderly neighbor now. Laugh out loud, says Bama Buckeye. Are you? I got the impression you weren't an elderly neighbor. Okay, Jade. Minus 15 here, but they have dropped the snow. Not sure how cold it's going to get. Oh, my goodness. You keep warm. All right, Sober Party 1, Shabbat Shalom, SK and all. Sober Party, welcome to the live. Shabbat Shalom. Walmart pickup is pretty handy, except they don't pick the best fruit or vegetables. They just grab whatever. Yeah, and I've seen some of the people that they're having do those, and they're pretty young, and I think that's one reason why. It takes a seasoned person to actually start to pay attention, in my opinion, actually start to pay attention to the freshness of fruit and the condition of the vegetables, not wilted and such like, because it makes a huge difference when you're the one cooking it and eating it. There's Crazy Canuck. Shalom. Snow ain't nothing but freezing rain and ice, then snow. That's not fun. 100%. Hey, what have you been doing to prep Crazy Canuck for a Snowmageddon? And are you having a Snowmageddon? And y'all, I'll be right back again. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh, all the hi there's and all that. A 3-dog night. I'll tell you what, all the cool peeps are here. I don't like doing produce on pickup orders. Yeah, just avoid it. There's Air Gray. Shalom. Or it should be Air. Ear. I only do pickup orders if I'm sick. Crazy connection. Okay, so Wes, I wanted to ask you about your cattle, because as far as I understood it, they tend to be warm weather cattle. So is there anything special you're doing for them with the cold weather coming? And then if anybody has not already shared what you did as a Snowmageddon prep, please do that now. And then I'll wait a second. I live off grid in an RV, so if the power goes out or water lines freeze and break, I won't notice. I charge batteries from solar and I bring my water in from town. I treated myself to a propane heater though. So Quiet American, I don't know if you have watched early videos of mine or Pastor Joe's, but we lived in an unheated camper trailer for 2.5 years. It also did not have running water. And so what we did to be warm on cold nights, one was good clothing. Two was good bedding. Lots of blankets. We did have a propane heater to get ready for bed, heat up the space and change into pajama clothes or whatever we were going to sleep in. I would wear to bed gloves on my hands, a hat on my head, and like a hoodie. But other things that we tried were heating up rocks over a fire outside, and then when they were good and hot, putting them in a pot and setting them on the floor inside and let them dissipate their heat out. And it works for a little while until they get cold. I also tried the clay pot over top of a baking pan with those little tea candles in it. I don't think I ever used more than 6 tea candles and maybe 1 clay pot, and that was a little bit of heat, but not much. I've seen some reels where people are saying, oh yeah, you can heat up a whole small room with this. Not when it's 18 degrees out, and not when you're in an uninsulated trailer. Now, would it work if you expanded that? I think it might. If you had a whole 2 or 3 casserole pans on your counter with maybe 20 of those little candles, or better yet, bigger candles. And I saw a man who put 3 clay pots, a smaller one, a medium one, and a larger one, and then put a bolt through the middle to hold them all together, and he sat that over top of some of those candles. I think that would work better because there's more space in between those pots, and also it's like more insulation to have three of them. That might actually make some sort of difference. But the thing that worked the best for us was just being dressed well enough and then having enough bedding. And we stayed pretty warm no matter what the outside temp was, with just exceptions of some very cold nights. So thank you for bringing that up. A snowstorm is just another Tuesday. We're ready for the worst. Starting in November, right through till mid-March, weather can turn on a dime from morning until night. I would just want to be in an underground house, I think, with huge logs on top and moss on top of that and a wood stove inside. I changed the oil in my generator and filled up fuel tanks for it. Awesome. Also doubled up on filled propane tanks. Great. Water stores, extra food, laundry, and gym. That's my preps. Sounds perfect, Patty. Love hearing these we may do using these things story. Well, thank you very much. It's true. Made videos about it. We hear someone on Instagram say today that they set up in a 10 by 10 tent in their living room to help keep the heat in. Laugh out loud. Someone I was talking to today brought that up too, and I don't see why it wouldn't help. But tents alone, they're just nylon, so they're not very insulatory. So I might make sure the bedding inside the tent was really a lot, because what you're doing, you're not generating extra heat. You are using your body heat to keep you warm. And so what you don't want to do is have your body heat trying to heat an entire room. Your body's not going to generate that enough. But your body will generate enough heat to keep you warm, especially if you have like 3 or 4 layers and a big old comfy blanket on top of you. Then you will be warm even if the room is not warm. Yeah, see me, tarp over the tent or something. I stapled a moving blanket over the north wall of the camper. Helps block the cold from the window. Great idea. The windows in our camper were louvered, and some of them closed and some of them didn't. So putting plastic over the windows does work. It looks ugly, but it helps keep a barrier between the inside air and the outside air. Some sort of little foyer outside where your door opens and shuts, even if it were just a really large cardboard box with some, I don't know, some of that white insulation tacked on it, and then maybe some sort of plastic over that. Just something you could open up, go inside, shut, and then open the trailer door, go inside and shut, so there's a barrier there. That would help. Heat rises, so whatever you can do to insulate the roof ceiling in the trailer would help. I mean, there's just so many things. My grandma's house used to have heavy blankets nailed over doorways back in the early 80s. Absolutely keeps drafts down. Absolutely. And it doesn't even have to be blankets. You can hang up curtains. Even those beaded 60s curtains would do something. Lots of dogs and cats in the bed keeps things warm. Sure does. Now, I am not a keep the animals in the bed with me kind of gal, but I do know people who do, and yeah, that's where 3 Dog Night comes from. Because they're generating heat and they're wearing fur coats. All right, so would you like to hear about the issue that I wanted to bring up? Let you guys think on it a little bit, give me your opinion or whatever. And Wes, are you still there? You gonna let us know about your cattle preps? He might have already left. I'm scrolling through your comments. I think we hit most of them. Yes, please. Yes, sure. Yes. Fire away. Yes. My mother kept extra heavy curtains for wintertime. Wish I'd kept those. They sell weather insulated curtains at like Walmart and stuff that are decent, and you can use blankets instead. Anyway, the hotel I'm in has 3 stories. I would say probably 60 to 90 occupants on a regular day. Guess how many people are in this hotel tonight? You know, Sumi says full capacity. Patty says 1. Full up, says Air Gray. Full. I agree with you, don't see me. Full capacity. Full, says Bomber Book. Nope. Nope. 60 to 90 people. There are 4 to 6 of us in this hotel tonight. All the other people cancel. 4 to 6. Hey, SK, Johnny Highwoods. My barn is full of goats and equine for the duration. We have extra water tanks set up to fill tomorrow. Sounds like a good prep. Yeah, Paula Joe Davis. Wow. So immediately, my mind goes to what an excellent setup for a story. A murder mystery. A spy coming in from the literal cold, hiding out. There's just so many plot lines that could come off of that. It's a winter storm. Here, let's set the setting. Cue the mysterious music. Ooh, right? Look at it. It's cold. It's windy. It's dark. And an unexpected traveler shows up, or even an expected traveler shows up, struggling to get their bags inside, wind whipping everything, icicles forming off their nose, drags himself into their room, and is like, and then what if the power went out? Boink! Now it's dark in here. If the power goes out, will the doors open? The doors with the card, and it's got to, read your card, and then it goes click. Will that door open? And what would you think if you were now in a dark hotel on the 3rd floor? Isn't that interesting? Popcorn. Wow. Your version of identity. No one wants to get stuck in a hotel unless you're planning to stay a while. Well, extra long hot showers for y'all then, right? I probably could go downstairs right now and buy up all the candy bars in the little concession thing they have, and there's, one little clerk down there, and that clerk probably doesn't have anything to do all night long. Nobody's checking in. Those doors that open automatically won't be freezing that poor little clerk every 5 minutes as people come and go and everything. Ooh, they're not even going to have their normal staff for the laundry tomorrow. I talked to one of the girls who was cleaning rooms, and I'm like, if you only have 4 to 6 people, but you've cleaned every room in the hotel, like, you're ahead a couple of days now. You're not going to have to clean anything. And she said, and the laundry people won't even show up tomorrow. They probably won't even need them. Like, what? Right? It's a good plot for an interesting thriller. I think the door's unlocked if the power goes out. So now your door's unlocked and you have to lock it again if you want it locked. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many things there. It probably won't happen to me again. And it also threw me into a memory that was years ago. I think when PJ and I had first gotten married, I don't even know if we had kids then. We were staying in a hotel and the weather outside was bad. And some knucklehead decided to pull the fire alarm. And so the fire alarm goes off and the lights are beeping and the rant, rant. And so I think it might have been on a military base. We all had to get out, whether we wanted to or not, because that's how it is. So we all go out in this freezing cold night. I don't remember if it was raining or not. And we're just standing around while this idiot, we don't know who it was. Or I can't remember if they figured out who it was. Might have been a teenager. We're standing out there shivering while, like, the hotel employees have to go all through the place looking for a fire, and then the fire department has to show up. And so, not funny, not cool. That person did it 3 times that night. 3 times, just as we're starting to relax and be like, okay, let's get into our groove. Let's, turn on the TV. It was awful. It was awful. All right, let's see. Popcorn. I'm not going to get hungry for popcorn. I have a snack that I can have if I get hungry, but dinner was really good, so I'm not hungry at all. So, scary thought about the doors. Will they be accessible from the outside if there's no power? Dun, dun, dun. I love conversing or converging story plots with other writers. Oh, conversing. The varying plots people can come up with astounds me. That's right. Raise your hand if you're a writer. What have you written, Flat Bottom Farm? Great big note for me. Scary, said Paula Joe. I bet it was a brat pulling the alarm. It may have even been a employee, and it might have been an older gentleman. It's been a while. Neil Hermites is a writer. I'm a writer. I just sent off 14 pages of a children's book to Deborine Publishing, and we got to edit it, and she's getting someone to illustrate it. But yeah. Do you want to tell them what you're writing about, Neo Hermites? Or if you don't want to, you don't have to, but you're welcome to. What did you write, Flat Bottom Farm? Last time we were in a hotel and kids messed with a fire alarm, we were in the pool. We decided to stay put. Attitude, if we die, we die. I can? Okay, so Neo Hermites, if I have this correct, is writing a French novel set in like the 1200s, like medieval time frame. That's about all the detail I have on that. Hey, Dud. How you doing? I can ad-lib my writing, just not on the spur of the moment. Shalom. I have written 2 kids' books, but I can't get the art for them right now. Okay. You can probably go on a website somewhere and try to recruit an artist. Let's see. Did JUT Watt He's the Candle video? Not sure what you mean by that. 1300s, France. Okay. There's a message held for review. I gotta look at it. Dud. Show. Sober party. That. Another moderator just handled it. Okay. Did Dud Watt the Candle video? Watch? Did they surrender? Romance murder mystery. Nice. Yep. Doing great and winding down for Shabbat. Did you do any Snowmageddon Preps, Dud? If you did, please share. There's photo effects. Hello. Haven't written much other than notes. Most happens in my head because I don't have a lot of time like I did with my old job location. You got to find that time of day when you feel most inspired, and that's when you start the writing. You just have to do it. You just have to write. I had an idea for a book, but scrapped it even before I started. Don't give up. 1300s France. I think I might have a Norman helmet around here somewhere. Awesome. Well, she did on-location study while she was in France last summer. Saw some really cool castles and statues and cemetery and all sorts of things, little villages. There, now it doesn't look like I'm on a slant. Oh, I didn't bring my tripod, y'all. I really didn't think about the fact that I might do a live stream, so I just have my phone propped up. At least it's not shaky, if I were holding it. Indeed, I did. I made do-it-yourself candles out of vegetable oil in case we lose power and need a way to heat my well house. Oh, that's cool. I saw a reel on, no, I didn't. Maybe it was in a movie. No, it was a reel. It was a reel where a brother was challenging his sister to make a candle, and she used same kind of thing, vegetable oil, and then she poured water on top, and then she put string in for the wick and lit it. Was it string? I forget if she did use string or maybe another candle, but yeah, I saw that recently. Yeah. Did you make hobo candles? Hobo candles are the ones that are in a tuna fish can, right? And you do like the cardboard and then you melt wax over top of it. Is that how you make them? I use a tiki torch wick. Well, that's smart. Q-tip works good for the oil candle wick. Oh, maybe that's what she did. Now that you say it, it might have been a Q-tip. Another sister recently gave me one of those little clay lamps that is meant to be an olive oil lamp, like Yeshua might have had. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, yeah. Excuse me. My children's book, The Mother of All Spiders, is started, but it's been sitting for well over a year. My focus is on starting the farm so I can quit my 9 to 6. Excuse me. I used a mason jar. It is still running outside. Excellent. Yeah, that's a lot of fuel too. Mason jar candle should last a long time, I would think. Now, does everybody have their plans? Should your roads, driveways, whatever, be iced and snowed over? Do you have a plan for getting out, or you're just not going to worry about it? I know that Brother Jody did a video on insulating your water pipes with straw and stuff, and I know PJ did that for one of our pipes. It's underground, but he put extra cover over it. I saw a video of making lamp with carbon felt for a wick because carbon felt doesn't burn away like regular wicks. Okay. I'm staying home, says Patty. We're not going anywhere. We're overstocked and have everything we need right here. I know that PJ got either the tractor, which is 4-wheel drive, and I don't know if we ever did a video about it. I might have done a post on it where that little tractor pulled a van that was attached to a animal trailer that had animals in it up one of the really steep hills on Chauffeur Mountain. That little tractor pulled the van and the trailer up on a snowy day. So he's got that, and then the his Kawasaki Mule. I'm almost certain it's 4-wheel drive, and I think he would use that as well. Let's see what we got here. Staying home. Not going, so not worrying about it, says Flat Bottom Farm. Thank you for supporting the channel. Okay. I wrote about my life a few years ago and put some of it on my old website that is down now. I need to finish it. However, it might not be NC-17. Not sure what the book ratings are. Adult nonfiction probably is what that would be. Staying here on the farm till it's all clear. Have the skid steer full of fuel to plow us and my daughter's place and our neighbors. Awesome. I also told PJ that he should consider. I said, you would be the popular grandpa if you took your mule and let them tie ropes and a sled to the back and you drove them around. But I don't think he's that kind of grandpa. I don't think he's going to do that. Everyone is coming here. Kids and elderly neighbors. Fewer locations to keep heated. Ooh, I like that. Do you have a place big enough for everyone to come to? Staying in. I don't think Northeast Missouri is going to get much snow, just lots of cold. Well, that's good. Cold can be dealt with. There is nowhere I need to be that bad. I'm a big wuss when it comes to slick roads, and I don't blame you a bit. Nope, not even a little bit. But I also know that you went to somebody's rescue last night, so you're not afraid to go out and help if you have to. We are planning to be snowed in. The van is not 4-wheel drive, so our driveway will be unpassable. Might try with the UTV to see if it can make the trek. It probably will. A little tip. A homestead hack. I don't even know if it's in my book, but I've already used it many times. Ashes do a pretty good job of melting snow. Whether it's it works best when it's sunny, but even if it's not sunny, if you sprinkle ashes, wood ashes, on your roads where your tires normally go and give it about, an hour, it will melt a lot of the snow down, and I won't say you get a lot of traction, but it also gives you some traction. My mules are in the barn. My girls might go ski joring with the rope around the saddle horn. There you go. My concern about that is to make sure that the area that you're sledding in doesn't have any big rocks. But I think ski joring would be a hoot. I used to like to go out in snow when I had my horse. I would put a jingle bell thing around his neck because I just like the sound of it, and I would wear my cloak, which I have with me. I have my cloak with me because I don't always get to use it where I am living, but where I am now is definitely cold and I've already worn it out. But I think ski joring would be a hoot. Michael Moody, hope y'all are well. Same, and welcome to the live stream. Kitty litter is good for emergency traction. Yes, it is. We're not looking forward to it here in New Hampshire. How much? Tell me about what you're expecting, Michael. Like, what are your temps and stuff? What are your temps and stuff projected to be? Yes, we save all our wood ash for that purpose and for making compost. You're so smart. Kitty litter, that's right. Hope y'all are well. Yep. I stopped trying to go work in winter weather after I totaled my car. The news said, it's not sticking. They lied. Yeah, it's tricky. Driving on snow and ice is a little bit scary. If you had chains, probably not so much. But just trying to wing it, I got to tell you, I'm not real brave about doing that stuff either. I just know, having watched my husband, that you never put your brakes on. You just take your foot off the accelerator. Just go slow. If I have to drive tomorrow, or I don't want to put it that way. There's a chance I will drive tomorrow, and the distance is not very far, and most of it's flat. So I'm not very, very concerned. Did you live in Poughkeepsie? Poughkeepsie? No. We used to pull An old car hood behind a truck. Sounds like a redneck. Oh, sorry. No, we can't say that. Sounds like an Appalachian. What did you come up with? You come up with this hilarious phrase. Anyway, sounds like a rural thing to do and a lot of fun. We're going to make it work. We will probably need a break from each other after this mess passes. Yeah, it could be a lot of fun. I think there could be a really cool set of card games going on with a bunch of people in the same place. Or a risk game. Risk can go on 3 days anyway, so why not, right? Wear a warm scarf covering your throat and chest, and you'll never get sick. Let me show you what my husband bought me recently. You guys want to see it? That's a lot of snow, Michael. 15 inches and approximately 20 inches. At least we're not Kamchatka, right? At least we didn't get 50 feet. That's outrageous. You want to see what he bought me? Appalachian American, that's right. Not driving anywhere. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let me get it. Let me get it. This was a total surprise, and I was really, really pleased. It's a neck over, but it's got this fur liner, but it's nice and like covers my whole neck, so I can wear this, and it's amazing how much warmer having that thing on is versus not having it on, or even versus a scarf, because I love scarves. I love putting scarves on, but they don't hug your neck like these neck over things do. And this one's just the fluffy bulk of it makes it very insulatory. So good job, PJ. All right. I didn't have lunch, did I? I did not. Maybe I'll eat some of my snackiness. No, maybe I'll wait. It might take too much noise. Okay. I keep a 5-gallon bucket full of water filtration salt in my truck bed and a square shovel just in case. Smart. Andrea Zeus. Hey, lady. Shalom. Thank you for supporting the channel. Where are you at right now, sweetheart? You still up in New Hampshire, too? Look at my hair all messed up by that thing. It was looking all fluffy and cute. That's all right. They're predicting 15 to 20 inches. Now, see, 15 to 20 inches is a lot of snow, but it's not like Snowmageddon. I remember in Virginia when I was in high school, we got 3 feet. Oh, minus 15 degrees and 20 inches of snow. Woo! I've been in minus 20 before in Kansas, and that's when I discovered the beauty, the wonder, the excellentness of the insulated bib overalls and coats and stuff. I purchased my wife a neck gaiter also. She refuses to wear it on her neck, but on her head. I've been wearing them for years. Well, you can tell her I wear mine, Dud. I also would not hate wearing it on my head. It came with a matching hat, so I have a choice to do both. But you can let her know that I wear mine, and it makes a difference. As long as you have something to keep your chest warm, too. Okay, let me show you something else. You guys want to see something else? Westhold, you are too much, man. Just almost cold enough for me to put on a coat. We have a brother who probably is still wearing shorts. He used to live in Alaska. You want me to show you? I'm still trying to get my hair sorted. Come on. Help a sister out. What a wreck. That looks very warm. We use fleece neck gaiters here. Yes, 100%. Yep. Coos County, New Hampshire. Michael Moody's in New Hampshire too. I don't know if you know him, but he's in the chat. Who's going to make a snow fort? Well, my grandkids for sure. Question: did you take into account the Farmer's Almanac for historical weather history before purchasing Show Farm Mountains, Sister Kate, and PJ? We did not look into the Farmer's Almanac, but what we did do is check average snowfall and temps and stuff with weather records and local people who lived there most of their lives. So, oh, yes, we get to see. Okay, yes. All right, let me show you this other thing. Okay. But of course. Okay. For keeping my chest warm, there is this lovely Norwegian sweater that my husband bought me for a birthday present years ago. There it is. They are double knitted, so it's like 2 rows of knitting, and that's why they're kind of warm. And if you watch some Norwegian movies, there's a really good one about a glacier falling into a lake and flooding a city nearby or something. The actual Norwegian actors are wearing sweaters similar to that one. So that's for keeping my chest warm. All right, that's a lot for down here. Southern half of the Ozarks could get that much out of the storm. When we lived in Ely, Minnesota, right? That's Minnesota. We had a week of minus 80 wind chills. It was brutal. I can't even imagine. Red Prepper, shalom. Patty Bragg, shalom. Oh, that looks warm, says Air Gray. It is. It is pretty warm. And I'm never a one and doneer. Like, I have a wife beater and a long sleeve sweatshirt, and then that sweater, and then a fleece coat, jacket, sweatshirty zip up thing, and then the cloak. And I have a Carhartt bib thing if I need it. So I'm having lived off grid in an unheated trailer. I've learned a lot about keeping myself warm, and it's important. Your feet and your hands are just as important as your neck and your chest, because if your hands feel cold, your body is saying, hey, we got issues. It draws more heat into your core, and your hands just keep getting colder and colder, and the same with your feet. So I wear wool blend socks that are kind of thick, and they can be pricey, but it's worth it. If you wear cotton socks, I don't think you're going to have as warm a feet. Okay, Storm Chaser. Also, I've been wearing shorts all day. Kids here in town thought I'm crazy. I mean, I am, but not for my attire choices. Well, yeah, for both, brother. We had a giant metal Coke sign. All the neighborhood kids sat on it, and it barreled down towards a bridge. Not the smartest idea, but we had a blast. The Wave is the movie. Thank you, Andrea. I liked it. I thought they did a pretty good job. I gave my Norwegian sweater to my daughter. Aw, Johnny Highwoods, that is so sweet. I also found out I am 5% Danish, so a little bit of the, Viking line in my line. We have been finishing up here in the homestead. It is cold out there. Yeah, it would be. I was out earlier. So I will tell you a little story about coldness. If you guys want, let me know, and I will do that thing. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to get another drink, because I like being comfortable while I'm doing the live stream too. I like my mouth not to get too dry, and like my lips got dry, so I put a little chapstick on them, and stuff like that. So a little bit of my ADHD, but I'm going to go get me someone gave me a hydrating drink today, and I want a little bit of that. So again, talk amongst yourselves. think you can hear the wind blowing. Let me put it up here. Did you hear that? Oh, that wind is really going out there. Why did I bring that? All right, I'm just going to put that on my lap. There's my drink. Okay. Okay, looks good. The convenience of a scarf is that it's easy to put on when it's a nice day that turns chilly. Yes, that's true. Same. Childhood, every other storm was 2+ feet. Now we only have a couple of storms every year. Just cold 3/4 of the year, laugh out loud. I go to a store in Harrison and get wool blend socks at a discount, if they have them. Can do Snowmageddon. Oh gosh, I forget what their word for yes is. Is it hi or something like that? I cannot Snowmageddon much, though. Yay, stories. Can you speak Danish? No, not really. Yes, story. Okay. My duck boots, whoa, are great in this weather. Haven't been hunting in them yet, but they're getting the job done. Story time is always great. What kind of duck boots do you have, sheepdog tanker? Because now here's another story not related to the first one. I bought myself some very furry, because I have found that if you get fluffy boots to keep your feet warm, it works for me. Very fluffy, old lady, good for your arches boots, very expensive, off of Amazon, maybe 2-3 years ago. And I've been wearing them in the winter. They were also meant to be water resistant, and I found them to be pretty good boots. So I started to wear them this season, and I noticed the stones and stuff seemed to be sharper. Well, I turned them over and the sole had completely worn out on like 3/4 of one foot, that my right foot, and about 1/4 on the left foot. There was just a hole like you see in the movies, like bigger than 1/4 on the left foot. Sole completely gone. Walking on the styrofoam underneath the sole, and that's why it was uncomfortable, and the boots were not being as water resistant. Like I literally walked those holes into those boots. So then I was thinking I need to get another nice fluffy winter boot, and I thought, well, maybe a duck boot would work. So I would really like to know what kind you get. Yes, it is whipping. Yeah. Eerie noises. Shoo goo time. There was nothing to goo. Like I would have probably been gooing the bottom of my sock. That's how much I wore that thing off. Anyway, the story is about today. Muck boots. I think I have some muck boots, but they're a bit heavy. I need a lighter weight boot. I'm pretty sure I've got well insulated muck boots, but they're rough on my knees. Those boots were not made for walking, and that's just what they won't do. I got them from Cabela's a few years ago. It had to have been a few years because Cabela's isn't really Cabela's anymore. So today I'm driving, and as I'm driving, I leave where I am, and it's like 27 degrees, and every hour or so, I'm looking down and I'm contemplating, do I need to go to the bathroom? Should I stop for gas and stuff? So I'm looking at the temp. And I decided to hold out. Like, I'm not going to stop very much if I can help it. When the temperature got to 17 degrees, which I was like, oh, I didn't think it was going to get that low, which was uninformed of me. But I had to okay, it's 17 out there. What am I wearing? How long do I want to stand out in that to get gas? Better do it now. So I stopped, And I did the whole deal, card in there, choose gas, put the thing in the gas, turn that guy on, sit in the car for a little while, hear it go click. Okay, I'm done, go out, take the gas thing out, get my card, put it in my wallet, get back in the car, start to drive away. And the next time I looked down, I checked, I'm like, oh yeah, I should be full of gas. No, it was where it started when I went. It didn't pump the gas and I didn't notice it. It did that thing where you plug it in and then a little while it goes click and it hasn't really pumped anything. Brunt makes good boots. Thank you, Patty. So I'm like, oh, dang it. How much more, how much farther do I have to drive? How much farther before I get to another gas station? I'm going to have to get gas. Maybe. Do I want to, risk the next day, tomorrow, only having a quarter tank? Or should I fill it up again? And I'm kind of mad at myself. And I'm kind of like, I should have noticed that. And why did it do it? Why didn't it just fill the tank? So when the next gas station that was on the right side of the road that didn't look sketchy popped up, it was now 9 degrees. Oh, it was so cold. I made sure to grab everything that I had in the front seat with me, the gloves, the hat, the neck over, and put it all on before I got out of the car to pump the 3/4 of a tank full in 9 degrees. And let me tell you, I was even glad I did that because I would not like to be out in that right now pumping gas. I will tell you. Okay, they're 2,000 grams thin insulated. They're like the old rubber duckies. Okay. That reminds me, I've got new insoles for my boots. I'm going to put them in before I forget. Well, good. I'm glad that you will do that thing for your feet's sake. How much did you pay for the non-gas? I got 91%, probably about $2.49 a gallon, maybe. That has happened to me too. It only seems to happen in colder weather. It's just our luck, right? 17, that's cold enough. Oh no, it's gonna keep going. You better stop, girl. Andrea, did you talk about your preps for this weather? Did you do any preps? That was what the name of the live stream was. I mean, we can talk about anything, but I don't remember if I asked you about that. Andrea is a pretty fantastic individual. She's smart as a whip, and she lives in New Hampshire. She takes care of her land and her house and everything, she and her son. She's a go-getting gal. All right, let's see what else. Wow, that was interesting. The screen got really light. So Johnny, you have donkeys, but you said equines, so do you have horses too? Like draft horses or something? Oh, that's a good point. You're up late because if it's $2.89 a gallon here, I loaded the house with firewood for both wood stoves and the porch too. Awesome. Yeah, it's what, 10 o'clock there now for Andrea and East Coasters? What kind of wood stoves do you have, Johnny? Are they like the old 1930s ones, the cute little ones with like 10 little doors on the front? Or is it one you made yourself? My son has one in his house that it's either hexagonal or octagonal, and somebody welded it themselves, and then he bought it for $75, and it works great. We have 6 mules. One is a draft mule, 3 ponies, and 1 old Arabian stallion. Wow. So if I needed education on how to work mules, I could come visit you. Actually, I have an old harness that I kind of re-alived to try to train my Morgan horse to pull, and we got along okay. It was really too big for him, but I kind of sized it down for him. And I found a Hames and oh dang it, now I can't think. The collar and the Hames in a thrift store, and I started training him using, broom handles and stuff, and it was going okay, but I didn't have the blinders, and I should have had blinders, and we got up to landscaping timbers, and it freaked him out. And so we went from landscaping timbers to him pulling my Jeep, which he did. I put it on a flat road, and I put it in neutral, and we hooked him up to it. My husband led him, and I drove the Jeep, and he pulled a Jeep. My wife travels with a 43X on a go bag. As an experienced women's instructor and prepper, what do you recommend for women specifically when traveling, not giving away OPSEC? I think you're good to go right there. I did a video once, and really, I'm trying to remember what I said. Go bag, pretty important, right? For just in cases. If she has to camp on the side of the road for some reason, good thing to have a go bag with food and shelter and all the things. Self-defense, also super important. First aid, probably need a bit. You're probably not going to splint your own broken arm or something unless... Small first aid kit. Some water, or some way to get water, or carry water in it. Your meds. Now, I'm in a hotel room. I do take extra precautions. I close the bolt. I put a deal in the hole so people can't look in the room from out in the hallway. There's lots of things, rubber bands and all sorts of stuff to make it a little bit more secure. I think that's a smart idea. But really, if you're an American, all you need is your driver's license, your keys to your vehicle, and a credit card. And you can kind of go anywhere and buy what you need when you get there, as long as you have money. You can get a hotel room, or you can go to a Walmart and buy anything from a 24-hour Walmart. Fire starters, tents, sleeping bags, everything. So that's a very open-ended question. We still use my grandmother's Kalamazoo kitchen stove she bought in 1930 with money from selling the surplus food from the farm. See? Look at that. I called it. Did I not say one of those 1930s cute little stoves? Is it colored? Is it like a light blue or like white or something? Or yellow? Those things are so cute. I had 6 draft horses over a 20-year period and logged with them. Man, I wish you were my neighbor. I think draft horses are so useful. Thank you. Light green. Nice. Those things are so cute. It's got the little ash handle, right, to drop the ashes. And what else do those things have? Some of them came with the water holder or a separate grill thing that you could put a pot on. I mean, those... too cool. Okay. Red Prepper, what did you do to get ready for the Snowmageddon? Water jacket, yeah. All right, Andrea may have gone to bed, Patty. She didn't answer my question. Brunt. Okay. Before I forget. Good night, y'all. Stay warm. Y'all bless. All right. Shalom, sober party. It's there. You're there. You're still here. It's there? You already posted what you prepped? Well, let me see if I can find it. I didn't see. That has happened to me makes sense, but I must have missed it. I don't see anything up there, Andrea. It's above Johnny Highwoods. I see Red Prepper up there. And him talking about draft horses and stoves. And Red Prepper. And Johnny Highwood again. That has happened to me too. It happens in cold weather. I saw that. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Kan du snaki danska? Michael Moore. Yep, I gave my Norwegian sweater. The Wave is the movie. I saw that. I don't see what you prepped, girl. You gonna share again? Maybe YouTube deleted it. North Idaho. North Idaho. You have got to be cold. We're on grid with all off-grid systems. Good use to the cold and ice. Good. Sounds like a good combo. It's nice to know how to do it without the grid if you have to. It's just above the stove comment. Yep, I wonder if YouTube did something with it. Be very circumspect in how you phrase things. I didn't see it above the stove comment. North Idaho. I feel like PJ and I camped up in North Idaho. There was a town up there. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It was by a dam. And when we went through, we did not know, but Kevin Costner was filming the movie The Postman. And so we came into that little town and they had built a palisade log wall at the edge of the town. And we were like, wow, what a cool idea for the town, not knowing it was part of the movie. And then when we went down the main street, they had completely changed the appearance of all the houses and everything. They let them grow up and they had let weeds go and they had like painted the outside of the houses so they looked weather worn and had old cars and everything. All of it was for the movie. And as we're driving by, we're like, wow, this town has gone to heck. Like, what are they doing? And it wasn't until we stopped at the local grocery store to buy something and then had to stand for a while because I wanted to make sure we had our check was good and that like we actually had to call our bank and have them tell them yes, their check is good. And while we're standing there, that's when the conversation started. Oh yeah, they were just doing casting calls for extras. You guys would have fit in great if you were here a week ago because we were all dressed to be camping. And, had me and my husband and a dog and a couple of little kids. And we're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, they were filming The Postman in that North Idaho town. Some of the scenes from it. Yeah, it was an amazing coincidence. All right, let's go. You must think Andrea's preps are controversial. My wife has 150 pounds of feed in the back seat of her car, and the back section is full of her medical supplies for her hospice patients. Feed makes good for traction. Yes, it does. I have 100 pounds in the back of our car because I'm almost out of chicken feed, and I let PJ know in case he needs to do the deal. All right, Shabbat Shalom, SK and PJ. Jimmy Carr 9161. Welcome to the live stream. My friends were in the Postman and they used their horses in the movie, so I probably drove by your friend's house. I stopped at your friend's grocery store. How's that for coincidence? Aw, kudos to your wife for her generous heart. Yeah, I second that. Viking Preparedness just got here. I've been on this thing an hour and 30 minutes. I'm glad you're here. He's got a blue wrench, y'all. You better behave. I was just telling the story about when we were in North Idaho and stumbled upon the Postman being filmed because Red Prepper is in that area, and he said some of his friends were in the Postman and they used their horses in the movie. Thank you for your kind words earlier. I'm an hour ahead of CST. It's going to be minus 21 with 12 to 18 inches of snow. Oh my goodness, Andrea. John made fresh bread and everything is charged up, including the solar generators. I'm not surprised. You're just a squared away lady. Good for you guys. And I don't know if you want to try to contact Michael Moore here in the live stream, because he's in your state. I don't think he's probably anywhere near you, but I don't know. But good for you. Paula Joe Davis, thank you. Some nights it's rough, though. I'm sure. Another thing I just thought of for cold weather preps is something we bought years ago. They're body comfort heat packs. They don't require electricity and are reusable. Yep, Flat Bottom Farm, I second that. They are good ideas for cold weather emergencies. Yes. I can imagine. I would have a broken heart all the time. I will keep you in prayer. Great idea, Paula Joe Davis. Much better book than the movie. I still give Kevin Costner credit for trying to make a movie out of the book. I think he's the only one who did at least make an attempt. That was an interesting camping trip for us. Viking Preparedness, would you like to share what your preps were for the Snowmageddon? And I don't know if Neo Hermites is still in here or not, but she stopped by. Also, if any of you all want to talk about, like, is the weather starting in your area yet? Because as we saw out that window, I don't think there was any snow on the ground here yet. Let me take another peek. It was just windy. Oh yeah, no, it's starting to snow. Okay. There's starting to be some snow on the ground out there. It's not like an inch deep or anything yet, but it's definitely starting to fall. I'm here. It's baby bath time. Whee! I went to take a CPR stop the bleed class the other day. The temp was 1 degree most of the day. Oh my gosh. I recommended the EMTs and class members to buy from Refuge Medical. Sweet. Good quality stuff. Johnny Highwood, you sound like the kind of community member who's just a plus for everybody. Knowledgeable and involved and taking classes that can help out. That's awesome. Not supposed to start hill trip tomorrow afternoon in Southwest Ohio. Well, Buckeye, there you go. Buckeye's the Ohio State tree or whatever. So it's gonna, well, it started in Colorado at least. There was some snow falling there, and moving east, you know, it's going towards you, so that kind of makes sense. Firewood and kindling, water, tarps, vehicles parked nose out. That's right. Parking those out, because if you have to jump start your vehicle and you've got it parked where the nose is not accessible with another vehicle, what are you going to do, right? Turned heat up to 72, made cookies and cooked pot roast in the crock pot. Yeah. I think the made cookies is really the most important thing, right? Yeah. One must have cookies to get through Snowmageddons. Life is good. Yum. Well, you got the ingredients and you got the chalky chips there. You could always make some Viking preparedness. You could just put it all in one big wrought iron frying pan and make one big chocolate chip cookie. Buckeye is a poisonous nut. Laugh out loud. But it is your state tree, I think. Shabbat Shalom. Palmetto paratrooper coming to the party. A little bit late. Welcome. What have you done to prep for the Snowmageddon Palmetto paratrooper? Needed the cert from a New York State guides license. Been a hunting camping guide since 1989. Very impressive. I thought you were in Pennsylvania. I guess I was wrong. You're in New York? You doing that up in the Adirondacks? I left work at noon to get ahead of the storm. Looking outside, nothing. I could have stayed at work. Yeah, it's always a risk, right? Okay, you guys, maybe I am going to have a little bit of a... I swapped out some propane and brought some firewood inside. Not much else to do. So I'm assuming if you're bringing firewood inside, you have a wood-burning stove, and you will forgive me if I didn't remember that detail from before. I don't, unless, yeah, you've got to have some kind of wood-burning thing inside. Freeze-dried peas. A fireplace, okay, that works. Fireplace is adequate also. The Catskills Hudson Valley is where our farm is. Family been here since 1908. I got hunters all over. So isn't the Hudson Valley near where West Point is? Isn't West Point, or am I just thinking it's on the Hudson River? 1908, 124 years, that's a long time. I live an hour from West Point. Well, there you go. West Point is on the river. That's what I thought. So what shenanigans are the cadets coming up with? What's the latest? Who got drunk and had to get, what do they call it? Walking around some yard on guard duty. Your Dutch ancestors lived up there. Yeah, I have some Dutch ancestors on one of the sides of my family. I think it's the Russells, whatever. Found out we have Dutch ancestors who lived in northern New York. But this is what, 1700 Neo Hermitas? Okay. But we're talking a long time ago. Like when it was still being founded. 16 and 1700s, yep. Oma and Opa. Van der Urks or something, I forget. We don't need to give them specifics. New Amsterdam. Would have been nice if they'd been Vanderbilts, but you know, whatever. So, Andrea, what do you normally heat your house with? You have a solar generator, which is great for power, right? Charge your phone up, run your computer and everything. But what do you normally heat it with? And Johnny, do you guys exclusively heat with wood stoves and cook on them too? I'm assuming? Propane. Okay. We got your book. Look forward to getting through it and learning. Have had PJs for years. Oh, Red Prepper, thank you very much for buying my book. I hope it's useful to you. I wouldn't say it's like the be-all, end-all. It's more like a basic book, but it's got tips to hopefully help you homestead easier. I've had PJs for years. Look at you guys. You got your little memes next to your names and you're highlighted in green. You get the shout outs for being crew members. An old Dutch descendant said, as my grandparents went by with the team and wagon in 1908, there goes a pioneer family. Aw. We burn wood only. But you have enough property to do that, right? If I remember correctly, you've got some acreage. And so if it's wooded, then you probably never, ever have to go buy firewood ever. You probably have enough down trees that you can just go take your mules or whatever and gather it up and split it. And is it mostly hardwoods? Does anybody else have wood forest on their property? We just found out, what did we find out? Gosh darn it. We found out that graft, and I don't know why you would, but you can, a mimosa tree to a locust tree. Now, I think it was black locust. It could have been honey locust. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because the locust that we have on our property it's like a weed. It's awful. Very hardy, grows like crazy, thorny, burns well, very, very hot. And supposedly they support other trees around them, but like, I don't know how that's possible because if you let them, they just literally grow their own forest in like 2 or 3 years. And to me, they're choking out all the other trees. Anyway, I was laying there not sleeping. I was laying there trying to sleep, and I had a thought. Wow, with a root stock like that, if you put an apple graft on a locust tree, you would have an apple, like instant fruiting and everything else. And so I had to look it up. Can you use it as a rootstock for a fruit tree? And the answer is no, you can't. But you can use it as a rootstock for a mimosa, which has those gorgeous pink and yellow blossoms that smell great and attract hummingbirds. And also when you dry it, it's a kind of tea that's soothing and calming. So, I mean, it's not a total loss, but yeah, if you have a forest, what kind of woods do you normally have? Yes, technically it's a Persian silk tree. Yeah. I'm not sure about the eat every part, Stray Kitten. I'd have to research that a little bit more, but I heard it is good for your mood too. Mimosa is a different thing. We have a desert and no trees. She has thorny little bushes that I had in one of my videos out there. That's as close to a tree as we get. We have about 20 acres of woods. The rest is pasture. Do you know what kind of wood you have? We're doing good. Everything considered. Working on getting healthier. Are you okay? Nope, my husband tools around town in summer looking for companies taking down trees and asks them to drop off the wood at our driveway. Most of them do, which is another really smart way to get free wood. When we were in Northern Virginia, we would drive by the Asplund construction company vehicles that were clearing roads and all sorts of stuff, and they would have rounds laying on the side of the road, and we just pull up in our old Suburban, and say, hey, what you doing with those rounds? Nothing, you can load them up. We got a lot of free wood that way too. We have a forest of pine, not the greatest to burn, but it does burn. Yep, it's kind of a soft wood. People make furniture out of it. Pine needles, good for tea. I mean, you know, there's pine cone nuts, good to eat. It's not terrible. A lot of mulch there too, right? Pine needles are good mulch. I have a portable sawmill and mill logs during the winter and spring. We have a sawmill too, but ours is being worked on right now. We have forest on ours. I get wood off the farm, but do tree jobs and get tri-axle truckloads of hardwood. Nice. Nice. Okay. Our pine stand is starting to die off, so I need to harvest about 20 trees, be about 75 logs of different lengths. That's why I said I think I remembered wrong. In case. Pine, oak, ash, cedar, mostly. We have flat bark elm. We have one giant oak tree. We have oaks and sassafras and sumac and sycamore. So supposedly, old trapper, you can tap all of them. Now, if you tap an oak, supposedly it dies the next year. But fruit trees and sycamores, supposedly you can tap. You'd have to research more because I don't have total, like, I tried to tap a sycamore and no sap. So I don't know if there's a certain time frame for them or whatever. We have different types of oak, maple. We have maple also, cedar. We have scrubby cedar, no pine, beech sassafras, even some witch hazel. Ooh, that's kind of cool. We are seeing the first snowflakes now, praying ice stays south of us. Serenity Haven Homestead, 6384. Howdy, welcome to the live stream. We are talking about our Snowmageddon Preps. If you have anything you'd like to throw out there, Serenity Haven Homestead. I will definitely research that. I've heard only of walnut, and maple. You can tap literally any kind of tree. Birch trees, there's tons of different kinds. It's just all fruit trees. You're going to get different amounts of sap from the different trees. And I know when the maples are ready to be tapped in my area. I don't know when the other trees get tapped. I don't know if it's the same or different. I think end of winter, beginning of spring is when the sap starts to run, but that's going to be different months in different parts of the country. Finally caught a live stream. Yeah, and it was very impromptu. Very impromptu, but I have power and obviously I'm warm. I have a thermostat right now, and so it just seemed like a good time for me to do a live stream instead of trying to do it in the dark with the solar setup that we have at Shofar. And plus, this is a really good topic. Come on. Big frozen snowstorm? There's a lot to talk about there, right? Poplar trees need a suction system to get much sap. So there you go. Tap the white birch in spring like you would a maple. The sap is very healthy for a spring tonic. Very good for mineral replacement for women. If you have birch in your area. I don't have any birch, but that's good. That's a good tip. Are you the man with the channel that stopped making videos when you had to move? Oh. Spent most of 2025 improving my health. We have nothing to complain about. That's great. That's always a good thing. Chris Bulldog, shalom. I'm going to sell sassafras and sumac root bark. I guess now is the time of the year for it. Sassafras makes a nice drink, right? Texas Tea Actual, Shabbat Shalom, Sister Kate, shalom. Yes. Okay. For me, the best part of a snowstorm is curling up with a warm blanket and a good book. Sounds perfect. Maybe a cup of hot cocoa. See? If I'd have thought about it, I'd have brought hot cocoa packets with me too. But I got it back and we'll start vids come spring. Right on. I'm going to have to check out your channel. No. Good. Good catch, Stray Kitten. I give you some kudos for that. Awesome. So did you do any Snowmageddon Preps? Serenity Haven Homestead. And Chris Bulldog, do you want to share? Did you do any Snowmageddon Preps or Texas Tea Actual? I miss your videos. I'm sorry you lost your homestead. You guys care to share? That sounds pretty rough. No, I didn't, just the normal grocery shopping. Was your grocery store crazy? Maybe you're not in an area where this is going to hit very hard. I'm just assuming. You got your homestead back. I don't mind finding out more about it, but if you don't feel like talking about it, that's fine too. It's whatevs. I think I'm going to give the live stream probably about 8 more minutes because I'm getting a wee bit tired. Hey, Scotty John. All right, so now we have Scotty John on here, and I often confuse him with, let me go back up here, because I'm tired and my brain is starting not to work real good, with Johnny Highwoods. Johnny Highwoods and Scotty John. Sometimes I confuse you guys. I'm in New England. Heavy snow and ice are just part of winter. We get ready at the end of November, which is exactly what Johnny Highwood said. Tired too. Stacked firewood for a guy today. Western West Virginia stores are crazy. I was hurt in 2017 and fought for SSDI and finally got it right after I lost the homestead to foreclosure. Wow. Wow. Well, that is kind of rough. I'm glad you finally got the SSDI. But foreclosure, woo. That's kind of a gut punch. But if you got it back, that's amazing. That's fantastic. I'd be super excited for you. And Western West Virginia is very pretty. Yeah, our stores in our area were also crazy. And I'm talking about on Wednesday. Earlier in the live stream, I talked about going into one of those stores and how cars parking in spaces they're not supposed to park in. Like so many cars in line at the pharmacy department and stuff. It was, yeah, gotta run. May Yah bless you and keep you safe, sister. Well, thank you. You too, everybody. Yeah, got it back in auction. Okay, excellent. I hope you didn't have to pay a whole lot for it. I hope the auction was, something good for you for getting it back. God is great, and it all came about in His time frame. Amen to that. Not buckets of crazy in Wisconsin, but we're getting a few days of very cold. So I got to keep this in my mind. All right, so Scotty John, Wisconsin. That almost rhymes. I'm sure you did that for some reason. Johnny Highwoods, New York. Johnny Highwoods, New York. Okay. Very cold is, yeah. We moved away from where we lived because we were getting tired of cold, and we weren't Wisconsin cold. So bless you. Shiny Haven, I'm so glad for you. Good night, all. Stay safe and warm, says Patty. Good night, Patty. Just remembered Bear saying he was originally from Monticello, New York. My best man was from there. Yeah, Bear was a New Yorker, but he has no more of his New York accent left. Or maybe you guys up north don't have those accents. But my mom was from Long Island, and boy, oh boy, yeah, you could tell they were from New York. Just a little bit above what I originally owed. Okay, so that's good news too. Scotty John, I did. Okay, so his channel is because he's from Wisconsin. Did we have the conversation where, oh gosh, I can't even remember her channel name anymore. Oh my gosh. There was a prepping woman from Wisconsin who had a channel, and she was and probably still is, a community supported farm, and she grows so much food up there in your harsh conditions anyway. I used to recommend her channel all the time, but I haven't watched her in a while. Low teens and single digits at night here for a few days. Yep, it's rough. It's going to be, yep. I remember her. Haven't seen anything from her in a while either. And, she may have been OBE, overcome by events, because COVID hit her so hard. And I think her husband was already disabled. So it's possible that she, just like I didn't do a lot of videos this year, life may have come and she may not have had time or effort, you know what I mean? The will to continue doing videos while dealing with real life. Oh man. Her name started with an S. It's not Shirley, something like that. Bear has a little bit of hillbilly Catskill accent. All right. Good night from the frozen north. You do no see me. Well, thank you for coming to the live stream. My mom was from Long Island too. Ooh, what part? One of my girlfriends was from Queens, New York, and still has her accent. Oh, I believe it. I used to think my family was Jewish without realizing, I should have realized their name. They were definitely French. The way they talked, oh, such a dis, dem, and doze, big, thick accents. All right, we got 2 minutes. Night, night from the hamlet of Highwoods. Got 2 minutes. Anybody have any more comments, questions, suggestions, prayers, anything like that? I remember walling across the street and being at the canal to throw crab traps. That's what I remember now. Well, my grandpa used to do clamming out in the bay. They called it the bay, but I can't remember what, Long Island Sound or something. I mean, I think they were on the south side. I think they were on the south side of the island. It's probably Steven Spielberg's backyard now. Who knows? If they kept that property, it could be worth millions. Viking preparedness, are you out of the live stream? Stay warm. Embrace the beauty Yah shows us every day. Praise Him. Hallelujah. Shalom and have a good evening. Flat Bottom Farm, thank you for coming. Wait a minute. You're lamp keeper. I'm recognizing this from the picture. Of course, you're an author. She wrote a book. Yes. Published by Deborine Publishing. I'm going to dive into the word for a bit and then head to bed. Praying everyone stays safe and safe. Shalom. Yeah. All right. Shabbat shalom all. Thanks for coming to the live stream. I enjoyed chatting with all of you, and stay warm. I agree. All right. Bless you. Shalom. 12 bean soup is on the menu for tomorrow with cornbread. Sounds delicious. Sounds great. Everyone that I know personally is making a kind of soup. There's potato soup, turkey soup, hamburger soup. Great idea. Shalom, you guys. Well, see, my thumb gets in the way. I'm gonna get up. I guess I can do it that way.